Captain Ibrahim Traoré has certainly brought about change in Burkina Faso, particularly in the war against insurgency. He isn't afraid of death. Furthermore, he listed 3 terms that we Africans should refrain from using in our writing, and they are cowardice, betrayal, and incompetence. The 3 terms he recommended we eliminate will be discussed. Traoré's seemingly inconceivable achievements have helped Burkina Faso become wealthy. Nevertheless, how did Traoré accomplish this? What was the plan for his success? Let's go look. Despite all the obstacles, Burkina Faso is responding to insurgencies with a strong sense of spirit and a proud history. Under Captain Ibrahim Traoré's leadership, the country is battling bravely for its survival as well as its sovereignty and dignity. Globally, there is significant change occurring that is upending stereotypes about Africa and redefining what is possible despite adversity. A significant security issue arose in Burkina Faso in 2022. Various insurgent groups controlled a sizable chunk of the country, threatening the collapse of the country. A significant number of people were killed in the September 207 vehicle convoy ambush, which highlighted the seriousness of the threat and the inadequacies of the government's response. Nevertheless, amid this turmoil, Captain Ibrahim Traoré became a new commander. Through a series of strategic military actions and a dramatic coup, Traoré has set out to rid his nation of extremism. Changes have occurred in Burkina Faso since Traoré assumed government. His second round is even bringing peace to Burkina Faso at the moment. It is important to understand how he achieved the impossibility. First, it is important to comprehend how Burkina Faso came to be on that precipice. Burkina Faso's collapse was not an overnight occurrence. Due to its location at crossroads of numerous Sahelian conflict zones, the nation had been plagued by instability for years. Economic hardship, political upheaval, and the fallout from nearby conflicts all contributed to the emergence of insurgent groups in the area. Al-Qaeda and ISIS members, among other extremist groups, saw an opportunity to exploit Burkina Faso's vulnerabilities. A flood of weapons following the fall of Libya in 2011 enabled Islamist militants in the Sahel to expand their activities. These groups exploited local problems in Burkina Faso, including poverty, unemployment, and political exclusion. These organizations took advantage of Burkina Faso's local issues. They occupied border areas, recruited young people who had been denied rights, and began imposing their strict rules. Systems of local governance collapsed as they seized control of entire towns and villages. At the ambush on September 26, 2022, a significant turning point was reached. 207 cars in a convoy, traveling from Ouagadougou to Djibouti, were targeted by Al-Qaeda extremists along the route. The assault, which left 37 people dead and 70 people missing, startled the population and showed how well the extremists had seized power in the nation. Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba led a government that was utterly unprepared. Because of its perceived inefficiency and delay in responding, there was a lot of public outrage and frustration. People called on their government to take more decisive action during public protests. With its demoralized and underfunded forces, the army struggled to maintain order. Public trust in the administration crumbled, and a wave of fear and resentment swept the country. In response to the increasing threat of insurgencies, the people of Burkina Faso felt helpless and abandoned by their government. A strong leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré proved himself in this dire and uncertain scenario.